What is up, YouTubers and lovers of budget cars and bikes? Welcome back to the V-Dub T5 project. And as you can see, we have been busy again. Basically, there is ply lining pretty much as far as the eye can see. We've taken it all off the sides, as you will know if you watched the last video. And this morning, I actually ripped it up off the floor as well. And a nice little surprise there as well. This floor is actually in exceptionally good condition. I think it's always a little bit of a worry when you start taking stuff up off the floor, because you never really know what you're going to find underneath there. And this is a 17-year-old van, so you know it could have been far worse than it is, but it's looking pretty good. I've got to get rid of these little metal eye hooks here, and there's another one down here I think as well, just to lay this beautiful insulation we're going to put down today, which was kindly sent out by VANDALISED. I'll put a link in the description to their website as well, and to this product. They kindly sent this out. It's basically going to form a kind of soundproof and insulation barrier on this floor here, and then we'll pop the ply line floor that we've just bought back over the top of that before we lay the liner on top of all that. So basically this is going to smooth things out really, really nicely. This is incredible stuff as well. I've read so many really good reviews on this as well. As I said, it comes from VANDALISED. Link in the description. So I'll put you on time lapse and we'll lay the first couple of sheets and see how easy this stuff is to go on, because I've not actually, as you can see, opened this package up yet, so I don't really know what to expect, although I've got a rough idea that it's going to be kind of sticky backed black foam. So let's get this open and we'll have a little look. As I said, once it's open, we'll get you on time lapse and we'll lay the first couple of sheets, see how it looks. So as you can see, it's all kind of rolled out now. We get a rough idea of what's going on with this stuff here. What I think I'm going to probably do is do it that way, as in little strips that way along, as opposed to try and do it all the way along like so. I just think it'll be a little bit easier, simply because if you get it wrong, you get it wrong on a whole huge section of about 6 foot. If you get it wrong over here just by doing maybe 3 feet sections across here and then coming down and doing another one, you're only really going to make it wrong in a 3 foot section. You can always rip that back up, but there seems to be plenty here, so it's looking good so far. So what I'm going to do is put you on time lapse again, and we're going to try to lay the first section just over here and see how we get on. So that's the first part down. As you can see, I've done it to the best of my ability. You can see the kind of concept here as well, because it just kind of molds into all the little ribs that you've got all over the place here. There's a couple of little spots here which I might just have to put a little bit of sealant in, possibly. I'll see how it looks when it's all done, but you get the idea generally. You cut off a section there. That was 59 inches, believe it or not, from one side to the other. I can obviously trim the edges, as in that top right edge there, and we are going to come around here all the way to this rear step with this stuff, and we'll cut back in a second when it's all done. I'll put you back on time lapse and then you can watch me busily put this down.
All I want
So it's down, all of it. We've cut out 3 sections effectively, 59 inches actually, I think it was, from here to here, about 62 between this end, and a little bit less between the wheel arches, of course. But it's down. It is simplicity itself, guys, this stuff. It really is so easy to put down. All I've got to do, as I said in the last section, was cut that little bit off there. We've gone into all the corners, as you can see here. It's stuck down beautifully. That is going to make a world of difference as well. When we put down this new floor and then the vinyl lining on top of that, and obviously when the furniture's all in and we've got all the rest of the insulation in, this van is going to feel just like a hotel room, basically. It's going to be absolutely glorious. We've got plans for this section here as well, which I will talk to you about in a separate video to come. And obviously we've got to carpet the wheel arches as well and trim it all in, all the way across the top of here, all down these parts here, and then basically carpet all the ply lining, which we've got sat over there and on the floor and pretty much bloody everywhere at the moment. But I'm going to slip in the new floor and then show you what that looks like, and then we are pretty much done for this video. But huge thank you again to Vandalised for sending out this insulation flooring here for the VW T5. Their link is in the description, as I said, and you know, just give them a call. They're really helpful guys, and they pretty much cover anything. They also sent me out some veil trim, but again, I'll talk to you about that as and when we're ready to put the veil trim in. But great guys, give them a call. The link's in the description. Thank you so much to them for giving me this insulation. We're going to put the floor in, and then we'll basically cut the video off at the end of that, and I'll just show you what this new floor's like, plans for that, and that will be it for today. So that's it. That's the new floor we picked up yesterday from Oakhampton. That was a hell of a drive as well. Not the kind of thing I'd want to do twice in a week, but that is the new floor. The obvious details are these little holes that you can see all around the place. They are basically straps where the little hooks were before we took them out, obviously for cargo strapping down and that kind of stuff. What I'm going to have to do is use the old floor and cut out little circular bits and then basically just epoxy those in just to cover those up. I mean, the liner will cover it up, but I'd rather do it just a little bit better. I am actually considering now putting some insulation underneath, between, basically, to sandwich this in between the kind of thermal liner, as it were, we've just put down from Vandalised, and maybe using some of that plastic bottle insulation that we're going to use on these walls here as well. I'm just wondering, drop it in the comments, guys, whether you think we should do that, whether you think we should just leave it as it is, whether this black liner is enough, or whether you think we should put some of that kind of crushed recycled bottle stuff between it to make a sandwich. I'm not quite sure, so I'd be really interested to hear your comments on that. That is it though. That is basically what we have achieved today. We've made an incredible bloody mess everywhere, but progress is always a bit like that with these van projects, isn't it? I'm not quite sure how I feel about this floor because obviously, as you can see, it's slightly shorter here than it is here, but I'm hoping this new kind of step that we've got to go in here, it's not a step, it's a step cover, that we've got to go in there is going to cover that up, and as I said, we're going to fill these little holes up with just some circular bits of wood basically, and then screw everything down. But that's it. That's the job for today. It's taken a good 2 or 3 hours because these jobs always take longer than you think they're gonna, but it is done, and that is it. That is the floor in place, so that is the liner down, and we will move on to the next video in a couple of weeks time. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. Give the video a thumbs up, a like and a share, all that kind of good stuff, and we'll catch up in a couple of weeks. We will be ready to think about insulating the side walls and the lower arches as well down here. That's going to be getting very close to carpeting, so as I said, if you haven't subscribed and you want to see how we get along with that, then consider doing that. Hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a penny, takes half a second, means the world to me. So video thumbs up, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll catch up in a couple of weeks when we're ready to get the insulation on the walls. Alright guys, thanks for watching.